How to become same-sex foster parents. The rules that govern the foster care system and who can become foster parents vary from state to state. In many states, the process for becoming same-sex foster parents is the same for any other couple wanting to help children in need by providing a safe and stable home environment. However, there may be barriers depending on where you live. While only one state, Nebraska, explicitly restricts fostering by LGBT parents, there are several other states that refuse to license homes in which unmarried adults live, and most states have no legislation prohibiting discrimination against LGBT couples who want to become foster parents. Part 1, Meeting State Qualifications. 1. Contact your state's foster care and adoption agency. Visit your local foster care agency, either in person or on its website, to learn more about your state's requirements to become foster care parents. Since some states either do not permit same-sex foster parents, or do not have laws prohibiting discrimination against same-sex couples, you must understand your state's laws before going further. You can use national websites such as adoptuskids.org and the Child Welfare Information Gateway at childwelfare.gov to find details and contact information for your state and local foster care agencies. In states without any laws prohibiting discrimination against same-sex foster parents, the attitudes and politics of the area where you live may determine your ability to foster. Some states, while not specifically addressing LGBT foster parents, will not certify homes in which non-related adults live together. This prohibition applies to all non-married couples. Additionally, many states will not allow two people who are not married to apply jointly as foster parents. However, one person still can apply to foster as a single applicant. Keep in mind that if you do not live with your partner, your sexual preference technically should have no bearing on your application to become a foster parent. Similarly, if you are married to your partner, regulations that prohibit unmarried adults from becoming foster parents shouldn't apply. In addition to contacting your local foster care agency, you may want to look for LGBT adoption and fostering groups in your area. These groups can provide you with information and resources on how to approach and handle the application process. Know your rights in your state, but also be aware of the prevailing attitudes in the area where you live. For example, if you know that you live in a part of the country that is relatively socially conservative, be prepared to face reluctance or even outright discrimination from people you contact at your local foster care agency. In many cases, it may be best not to advertise your status from the beginning. If you simply call and say you want to be foster parents, you may get a different response than if you say you are a same-sex couple who wants to be foster parents. 2. Attend an orientation meeting. In most states, once you've reviewed the laws and educated yourself about foster care, you must attend an orientation meeting to meet the caseworkers and other professionals who work in your local foster care agency and find out more about the foster care system. At the meeting, you'll receive information about the types of children in foster care and the roles and responsibilities of foster parents. The caseworker in charge of the orientation meeting also will provide brochures and written information to prospective foster parents, as well as explain the rules and the specific procedure for applying to become a foster parent. Bring paper and a pen to the orientation meeting and be prepared to take notes. If there's something you don't understand, ask about it. Particularly if the prospect of LGBT foster parents is not addressed in any of the foster care literature, you should ask about same-sex foster parents in your area. Find out if there are currently any LGBT foster parents in the system, how many there are, and whether they faced any additional hurdles in being approved as foster parents. In some parts of the country, you should prepare to be asked additional questions about why you want to be foster parents, especially if you and your partner attend the orientation meeting together. Focus on the needs of the children in foster care. You also might mention the LGBT youth in foster care who could use strong role models. 3. Complete pre-service training. All states require potential foster care parents to take classes and become licensed as foster care providers. These training courses educate you on the challenges faced by children in the foster care system and may provide you with basic skills such as CPR and first aid. These classes typically are offered free of charge by your state's foster care system. If you are not available at the dates and times the classes are offered, you may be able to take similar classes through a private agency or nonprofit organization. Be prepared to take between 10 and 30 hours of classes before you are licensed as foster parents. Some of these classes teach basic parenting skills, while others focus on how to interact with children who may have experienced emotional or physical trauma, or have particular mental or emotional challenges. 4. Meet your caseworker. After you've completed your training, you will be assigned a caseworker who will guide you through the remainder of the application process and complete a home study, if required by your state. In some states, you may meet your caseworker and begin the application process while you're still in the process of taking the required classes. Your caseworker will be a family caseworker, and his or her job is to shepherd you through the application process and do everything possible to assist you in becoming licensed and certified foster parents. It's important to have a strong, positive relationship with your caseworker. In this regard, you should be open and honest with him or her about your sexual orientation. Lying about it or sweeping the issue under the rug just to get approved may come back to haunt you later on. If you are assigned a caseworker who is uncomfortable working with same-sex couples, you may want to request a different caseworker be assigned to your case. Keep in mind that the caseworker may not express their opinion outright. However, your caseworker is supposed to be your advocate throughout the process, working for you to get you licensed if you meet the state qualifications. If you don't believe your caseworker is on your side, request to work with someone else. Part 2. Completing the application process. 1. Gather documentation. To complete your application to be foster parents, you will need documents that prove your age and income. Your caseworker may provide you with a checklist of the documents that must accompany your application. The purpose of the required documentation is to verify that the information included in your application is accurate and to demonstrate that you and all adult members of your household are of good moral character and fit to serve as a foster family. In addition to documents, you typically must provide reference letters from your employers as well as others who can testify to your moral character and fitness to be foster parents. Church and community leaders who know you well often provide excellent character references. 2. Fill out the written application. The foster care agency's written application requires contact and biographical information about you and everyone living in your household, including children. If you and your partner are applying jointly, you must both complete all other questions and provide information about your education and employment history. Make sure you answer all questions on the application completely and honestly to the best of your knowledge. If you're unsure how to answer a question, ask your caseworker for assistance. Additionally, if you have any concerns about the answers you've supplied and how they will potentially affect your approval as foster parents, you should bring your concerns up with your caseworker. He or she will be able to explain more about the application process and how the information is evaluated. You typically will have to pay an application fee when you submit your application, usually under $100. 3. Get criminal and child abuse background checks. All states require foster parents to pass criminal and child abuse background checks. Many states have other background checks and requirements, such as medical clearances and environmental health inspections of your home. Typically, all adults in your household must get fingerprint checks and criminal background checks from federal, state, and local law enforcement authorities. In addition, all adults must have clearance from your state's child abuse registry, which lists everyone in the state who has been convicted of child abuse-related crimes, including misdemeanors. If you or your partner have lived in another state, you also may be responsible for getting background checks from those other states where you lived as adults. Any required medical clearance requests must be completed by a licensed physician. Your state's medical clearance process may require you to get a physical or other medical exams. Typically, you will have to pay for any exams yourself. Regardless of whether your state requires a home study, your home may be inspected for environmental health and safety, during which the inspector will assess whether you have the appropriate smoke detectors, alarms, or fire extinguishers. 4. Complete a home study. Many states require foster parents to complete a home study similar to the one that adoptive parents must complete. A home study is a series of interviews in your home conducted by your caseworker, who will walk through your home and talk to everyone who lives there. The home study can take between 3 and 6 months to complete. If you are planning on being registered for fostering only, and not for adoption, you typically don't have to pay any fees for completion of the home study. The caseworker will interview the members of your household as well as neighbors, family members, and other people you've listed as references. Many LGBT couples believe they should take steps to remove gay, positive books, posters, or other materials from their homes prior to the home study. However, this isn't strictly necessary. Instead of trying to convince the caseworker that your home is similar to the home of a heterosexual couple, you should strive to present your home as it looks every day, and as it likely will look when you have foster children staying with you. Keep in mind that there are many LGBT youth in the foster care system who would benefit from strong, stable same-sex foster parents to guide and advocate for them. 5. Stay in contact with your caseworker. It may take several months for your caseworker to get back the results of your background checks and complete the report on your home study. During that time, check in regularly to find out about the progress of your application. If you have any questions or concerns, be sure to bring them up with your caseworker as soon as possible. Keep in mind that the caseworker typically isn't looking for reasons to reject you. Rather, they want to do everything in their power to get you approved. You also can use the time while you're waiting for the caseworker's final report to network with other foster parents. Ask your caseworker if there are other LGBT foster parents with whom you can connect and learn more about the experience of being same-sex foster parents. Part 3. Having a child placed in your home. 1. Receive your caseworker's report. Once all of your information has been received, your caseworker will produce a report which determines whether you are eligible to foster. Typically, you will meet with your caseworker to go over the information in the report and plan your next steps. The report details the decision the caseworker has made and the reasons for those decisions. If there's anything with which you disagree, or if you would like to provide any additional information or documents, let your caseworker know. If you were approved as foster parents, the report will include information regarding the types of children who would be the best fit for your home and family environment. If the caseworker does not recommend you for licensing, despite the fact that you have completed all required training and meet your state's qualifications, find out your state's process for appealing the decision. Keep in mind that if your state has no laws prohibiting discrimination against same-sex couples who want to foster, fighting a discriminatory denial may be an uphill battle. Focus on the fact that you meet all qualifications and there is no legitimate reason you have been denied a foster care license. 2. Meet with the placement coordinator. After you've been approved to foster, you will meet with another foster care agency worker, typically called a placement coordinator. This professional will discuss with you the types of children in need of foster care and get a sense of the types of children you're comfortable with and equipped to foster. If there are children you're particularly interested in fostering, let the placement coordinator know. For example, if you prefer to foster LGBT youth, the placement coordinator can note this preference and use it to identify children best suited for your home. 3. Wait for information on possible placements. Placement coordinators carefully evaluate the profiles of children in need of foster care and attempt to place them with well-matched foster parents. It may take weeks or even months before you are contacted about a possible placement. Keep in mind that if you're not comfortable having a child in your home, you have the right to decline the placement. If the placement coordinator contacts you with a potential placement, remember to ask questions about the child and any challenges or issues the child may have. If you accept the placement coordinator will work with you and the child's caseworker to move the child into your home.